Hey, let's go. Thank you for joining us again this week. We are back from our 2-week holiday respite. Hope you and yours had a festive time. And tonight we begin the 2026 Fantasy Baseball Positional Previews, along with a hot stove update and some Super Bowl 60 chatter. But as we always do, we begin the show by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? Boom! Right now. Yeah, the Bald Brigade is back. And you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're looking live at our split studios. This is Fantasy Baseball Now. Episode 68 is here for our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network. How's 2026 treating you?
It's better than it is being an NFL head coach or coordinator.
Got to win games.
The John Harbaugh news is a little shocking, I have to admit.
I thought it was going to happen, but I think it's a dumb move. He can move to Vegas.
He'll be in New York.
He can move to Vegas. I'm fine
Unless
with
he takes a year off. You're going to have Kevin Stefanski.
Hey, I'll take.
So you may have Cliff Kingsbury.
No, but he just got fired today. Screw him.
You may
they
have
had a bad thing. No,
because Brady's involved.
Years ago, he looked like he was coming to Vegas a few years ago, and then he opted to go to Washington, and I think it kind of left poorly. So we're not going to get that jackass.
I want Stefanski to go to Baltimore, and I want him to go into Cleveland and throw a 50 burger in the Browns' face. And look at Jimmy Haslam and go, see, if you got me a fucking quarterback for the last 6 years, this is what you would have got.
Now, for the Raiders with Mendoza time coming, I want Clint Kubiak. I want Mike LaFleur from the Rams. I want a young, innovative offensive coach. None of this defensive coach shit. We don't need that. We need someone to mentor Fernando.
I am praying nightly. That's where Fernando Mendoza ends up.
I'm going to start singing that song, Fernando. Is that ABBA?
You can sing anything you want. It's Kenny Pickett Part 2.
No.
You've already seen the ceiling. He's not going to get any better than he is right now. I've watched way too much of him.
No.
He's as good as he's going to be.
Hall of Fame.
Dante Moore's the guy.
If he'll go to New York.
I don't want either of them, honestly.
I like Moore.
I don't want to trade. I mean, fortunately, we picked second. I don't know why we're talking about football. Football hates both of us with a fucking passion.
Yes, it does.
We should hate it. We should hate it equally as much.
Can't help it. Can't help it.
Can't help.
Anyhow,
well, it's been a very tepid kind of non-fantasy impactful transaction wire since we were last together on whatever day that was.
Yep.
The 17th. I mean, the biggest news since then, Wilson Contreras to the Red Sox, which I don't know how much fantasy impact it has if you're in a single first baseman league, because when we show you our 12, he will not be on either one of our lists. But in a league where there is a corner infielder, yes, he could have impact. He could very well have impact.
About Paul DeJong to the Bronx. Open up the coffers.
He's in Scranton.
Hal opened up the checkbook to bring him back
on a minor league deal. It's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter.
Okamoto to Toronto. He might.
So Amaya to Houston and Okamoto to Toronto. Good moves for both of them. I'm more inclined to take a flyer on Amaya than I am on Okamoto. I don't know why. But in both cases, when you looked at the odds, the top 10 teams' odds on both of those guys, neither team that signed those guys was in there.
Yep.
Toronto was not even connected. It was the Pirates and the Giants. So I don't know. I don't know what that means for they think Okamoto's going to end up having to play first base. He's not a great third baseman. I mean, Jeff McNeil to Sacramento. Can't call him the A's anymore.
No, those dumbasses got turned down for their patent thing, which is so
That's awesome.
I wouldn't Fisher.
I wouldn't take Jeff McNeil if I had to when he was on the Mets. I'm certainly not taking him when he's on the A's. There's no question about that. Rhino Hearn to Pittsburgh. Good move for the Pirates. Again, you got a corner outfield spot or corner infield spot. Maybe that's where he plugs in.
Move I thought was interesting.
Pete Fairbanks to Miami is a pretty good move, and it's noteworthy only in that they gave him $13 million, and that might have been their payroll last year.
Yeah, move I thought was interesting was Tyler Mahle to San Francisco. If they could find a way to keep him healthy, he was good last year in Texas till he got hurt, but he always gets hurt.
You know what the most impactful fantasy news has been? Andrew Heaney retired, so none of us will ever be tempted again when he has a 3-start run where you're like, Andrew Heaney, man, I got to have that guy. And then you grab him and then you start him. And then he just goes scorched earth on your team.
I've never said that a day in my life that I need.
Zach Eflin back to the Orioles, obviously making pitching a priority by re-signing Zach Eflin. Joe Kelly retired, who gives a rat's ass.
Evening, good man in Massachusetts, by the way.
Yeah, it's probably the EMEA. We'll figure out how to pronounce it shortly here.
I think it's Ime or Ime.
I don't know what it is, but that's a good signing for Houston, and he'll definitely. I don't know where he is. I have not looked at pitchers ADP yet through 271 NFBC drafts, but yeah, it's been pretty. I mean, it's still quiet, way too quiet.
Well, you're waiting on Bichette, Bellinger, and Tucker. They're the three. Valdez is probably a big fish. Bregman,
Valdez, and Suarez.
Yep.
A lot of the banner I heard over the last couple of weeks is, do you think it's slow because owners are worried about a lockout?
Yeah, but they don't have to pay during the lockout.
That's exactly right. But then I heard some more lockout, and I read some more lockout news today that now makes me feel a little more optimistic that there will not be a lockout.
What news did you hear today that I did not?
The players have been digging into the revenue share that the other leagues get. And the percentage of revenue share that they get through their collective bargaining agreements. And what's consistent is in those other leagues, there's a salary cap.
Yep.
So the salary cap sets the revenue share percentages and allows that's the trade-off from the players for the salary cap. So there might start to be maybe the beginnings of, if we can get 50-50 revenue share, 45-55 revenue share, if we can get something in that regard, then maybe the salary cap's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because it'll make up that will make up for what they don't get, for what they believe they're not going to get in an uncapped world. You know what they're getting in an uncapped world? Is slowness in free agency, a bunch of veterans that never get jobs, guys that are in the majors that shouldn't be in the majors because teams would rather pay them $200,000 than pay $2 million for somebody that's proven. And these 30, 31, 32, 33-year-old guys are not getting signed because they want to come in for $2 million, a 1-year, $2 million deal. And I can put 2 guys on my team for the same amount, and they might not be as good, but at least I'm filling my roster out and I don't have to sign 2 of these guys. And I can stay in some kind of fiscal responsibility. whatever the fuck that means. whatever that means. I don't know what that means. That I think for every team, it's different, but I don't know. Maybe no. Blue Bayou 02215. No, I can't imagine the Dodgers actually reducing their payroll. I can't imagine it at all. I still think they're going to sign Kyle Tucker.
Now, I would imagine they can't make them reduce it to get under the cap. What's done is done. I would think there would just be a hefty penalty.
Well, maybe that would be the cap.
Yeah.
Maybe the cap would be, unless they make it their choice and they do it like the NBA where they put the aprons in and put the penalty, and they're already paying an incredible penalty as it is. So aren't the Mets?
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like they give a they don't care.
No, they don't care. They're printing money.
They're definitely printing money. But rumor has it that the Mets lost money last year.
I don't know how that. I don't believe that.
They ain't gonna make any money this year. They ain't gonna make any money this year. Nolan McLean's average draft position is improved 30 places in drafts since December 1st. And Owen Hurd on Twitter is like, I can't figure this out. And I just responded, every day that goes by that the Mets don't sign a frontline starter for their rotation, as each draft correspondingly occurs, he's going to go higher and higher.
Yeah.
Because we all believe they're going to win. I mean, I'd like them to win 40 games, but we all believe they're going to win around 90 games. I mean, they're a 90-win team. Just their offense is a 90-win team. Should be. And their bullpen's strong. So, I mean, they should win 90 games, and somebody's got to win those games. And McLean looked great last year.
He did. You got to see how he is with a full one under him.
Yeah, and if they learned anything, if the league learned anything about him, but he was pretty good. So, speaking of average draft position,
yes. Shall we move to
the catcher? We're going to do catcher and first base tonight. We're only ranking 12, so don't get all nuts that we're not ranking 30, because we're not going to do that. We could, but we're not going to. And then we'll do second base and shortstop next week, third base and outfield, and then we'll do DH, starting pitcher, and the Emmanuel Clase edition. On the next 4 weeks, we will do our rankings, our independent rankings. However, I have included in our rankings the current through 271 NFBC drafts, the current average draft position of these players. And the slide always looks better than it does when it shows up.
That happens.
Because I think the screen, maybe I should open them so I can see them myself.
It's pretty snappy graphics, though.
I mean, there's no secret that both of us would have Cal Raleigh first.
Yep.
There's no secret at all that we would have Cal Raleigh first. Right now, his average draft position is 17.94. I mean, there's no way. I don't believe he's going to hit 60 homers again.
No, I don't either.
But what if he regresses to 45?
That's still monster.
Still a ton of homers out of catcher position.
It's still insane.
And we both have William Contreras second.
I'll tell you, I almost put Langoliers there. With the way he finished last year,
I almost put Rice there.
But you know what? And that's my oversight. When Mike came on, we didn't have enough time to change the graphic. I looked at my rankings. I'm like, where's Ben Rice? So Rice for me, I slotted him below Hunter Goodman on mine. But yeah, how much is he going to catch? I mean, look, you don't need much to qualify, but how much is he actually going to catch?
Well, he's going to catch 20 games. There's no way he's not going to. He's going to play some first base. He's going to DH. I mean, the Yankees could have 2 catchers on this list if you believe in Austin Wells, but
I don't believe in his batting average because I had it
uh,
on 2
I don't
teams.
I don't believe in it either. They're both pretty similar defensively, so and they both
Like I
hit
had,
they both hit left-handed, but so that's a challenge. They will sign a right-hand hitting catcher at some point, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Well, you have Ramirez higher than I do. I have him at 10. I didn't like his average much. I'm a little surprised you didn't have Drake Baldwin higher.
I like Ramirez's stolen bases.
Okay.
Buster Posey should still be on this list. Yes.
FSU homer.
Of course, of course. You have Will Smith much higher than I do,
I love Will Smith.
and you have Goodman. I think we're going to see a massive regression from Hunter Goodman. I almost didn't rank him.
Really?
For me personally, I almost didn't rank him. Me personally, just because. Oh, there we go. That makes it a little bit better. You can't see us, which also helps the audience
Sure.
as well. But
I'll get rid of my little commercial in the scroller because nobody ever calls.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice if they did, wouldn't it? So,
Send us your business.
I mean, Baldwin with a healthy Austin Riley could definitely spike. There's no question. There's no question about that. With a healthy, he could definitely spike with a healthy Austin Riley. He had a really, really good year last year. You've got Rutschman. I do not.
I dumped all over him last year at this time. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. He's just a better player than he showed.
So what the ADP tells me, again, it's 271 drafts. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big sample size.
That's a lot. So he's going at 155, Yainer Diaz at 113, Ramirez at 76, and Sal Perez at 101. Sal Perez going ahead of Will Smith in all these drafts.
Sal Perez.
So you've got Raleigh, Contreras, Langoliers, Smith, Baldwin, Goodman, Rushman, Yainer Diaz. Fuck that prick. He'll never be on my team again. Augustin Ramirez and Sal Perez is your top 10 or top 12.
Yep.
Mine are Raleigh, Contreras, Rice, Langoliers, Ramirez, Sal Perez, Drake Baldwin, Hunter Goodman, Will Smith, Kyle Teal from the White Sox, who's at 182.52 right now, and I love Carter Jensen from Kansas City. I have a feeling. I mean, I know in our league I'm not going to get Cal Raleigh because he's going to be saved.
Yep.
I know I'm not going to get Rice or Langoliers because they're going to get drafted far sooner than I'm going to want to take a catcher. Maybe I'll get Baldwin. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to draft Hunter Goodman.
Baldwin, but in a keeper league, in a dynasty league, Baldwin's going to go early.
Yeah,
I don't believe he's taking catchers.
He's going to go sooner than I'm prepared to take a catcher. Like, I'm perfectly fine with taking Carter Jensen in the 20th round because he's going to do enough that it's not going to hurt. And then fill him in with Rutschman will probably go early because we got an Orioles fan. So everybody's pretty much down. Everyone's pretty much down. That's a good point, big man. We've been saying Sal Perez is done.
That's why I dropped him down to 11th in my rankings. He just
keeps hitting 30 homers and driving in 90 and hitting 278, and that's just what he does.
Yep.
And eventually, that's going to be the end of the road for him. But he's going to catch less this year, so maybe his bat will even be more effective.
Maybe.
Will Smith had such a terrible second half, and he's a little JC Real Muto-ish to me, where he does just enough that you want to have him, but not enough that you really do.
Is Real Muto coming back to Philly?
That's who knows. I think they'd like. I think it's years. I think we're in that years thing. I think he wants 3, and the Phillies want to give him 2.
Okay.
But he was 5 years ago. He was a top ranked catcher on this list.
Yep.
But you catch 150 games, and your body just and you play the way he plays.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is not dissimilar to that. You play that hard, and you play that long, that much for that long. Eventually, it's a incredibly demanding position. Now, maybe with Basallo, Rutschman will get with Rutschman getting a break and being able to be in the DH spot or even potentially at first base a little bit. Maybe it'll help his bat.
Yep.
But boy, was he bad.
Well, he was awful.
And he's been bad since the second half of 2 years ago offensively. He's been really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like you need a catcher. You're starting a team. You want a guy for your clubhouse. First guy you want to take.
Talk
you
about
want a catcher that's going to be productive. Not the first guy you want to take.
Tell me about Kyle Teal. He's a preseason CBS ranked 383.
We had he came up. He was in the Crochet trade. So he was in the trade with the Red Sox. He came up late, but he hit. He hit when he was up. I mean, he had a pretty decent offensive year. His average probably could have might have left something to be desired, but I mean, he played 78 games last year. He hit 273 with 8 homers and 35 RBIs.
Okay.
So give him 145 games, and that's 16 and 70.
He hit 273.
And he hit 273. And
okay.
He even threw in 3 steals just to add a little interest Now, Carter Jensen in 20 games, he only came up for 20 games, but he hit 300 in those 20 games with 3 homers and 13 RBIs, and he doesn't strike out. He only struck out 12 times in 60 at-bats. And that's his first time in the majors. And if you're only striking out 12 times in your first 60 at-bats, your first call-up, that's what you are.
It's pretty good.
So the other name that keeps floating around is Dylan Dingler, and he's getting a lot of love in a lot of preseason rankings from a lot of guys in our space, and I don't for the life of me know why. I mean, he hit he played 126 games last year. He hit 278 with 13 homers and 57 RBIs.
Here's the thing, though, with catcher that stood out for me. It wasn't that long ago, like 2 years maybe, even last year. It was a black hole after the top 6 or 7 or 8.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel that way now. There's some depth here.
Yeah, there is a little more depth. It's not third base, that's for sure.
No, I mean, Alejandro Kirk's
second base.
He was great for me the second half of last year.
I mean, you'll have a healthy Tyler Stevenson, so he's always in play. And the two catchers. How about Bo Naylor? How about maybe Ohapi has a bounce back year? How about Alvarez? He's being projected to bounce back because when he came back from the minors, he was a totally different hitter. I was high on him going into last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I was high on him going into last year. I mean, CBS rankings are Raleigh, Goodman, Langelier, Smith, Contreras, Perez, Ramirez, Rice, Wilson, Contreras, Drake Baldwin, Yiner Diaz, and Sal Basallo at 12. And I mean, I'd be higher on Basallo if he didn't hit 165 when he came up left.
Yeah.
And strike out a third of the time. he didn't strike out a third of the time, I'd probably be higher on him. And I'm also starting to feel as if this constant hype of all these Orioles prospects that Gunnar Henderson ruined it for all of them because he's clearly the best. I mean, Jackson Holliday's possibly a good player. He had a pretty good rookie year. I like Jordan Westberg, but none of the outfielders have done shit. Rutschman came up blazing. He's offensively inept right now. Kerstead can't get in the lineup.
No.
Cowser, I don't get it with him. Maybe they just don't want to play in Baltimore.
Maybe they're just not that good.
Maybe they like playing in Hagerstown more than they like playing in Baltimore. I don't blame them. I mean, hard to park there. Not easy to get to the ballpark. Real nice, great stadium. Fans are
you already moved to first base.
Fans suck. I mean, I guess you want to play in front of bad fans, you go to Baltimore.
Ouch.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about a guy's going to play in front of bad fans right now. So we are consistent, and the current draft positions would tell us that we are also in alignment with everybody else with our first three, though. Yep. I did waffle a little bit on Kurtz and Guerrero at 1 and 2.
That's legit.
And it's only for no other reason is that I 100% know what Vladdy is. And I think I know what Kurtz is.
Yeah, I think
right?
Vladdy.
We think we know. I mean, it's only 1 year. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable.
I think Vladdy is more of what you saw in the postseason than what you saw through the first 4 months of the regular season.
Yeah, the first 4 months he was just kind of. I think he had a hernia from picking up his paycheck.
Yeah, he'd gotten that contract. I'm always leery of guys that get paid like that. Is that that brings pressure? How do they handle that, especially early? But I think
just the emotion of going through the process, right? Where do they really want me? And I want to be here, and maybe I'm going to have to leave. And they're not. They're offering all these other guys these giant contracts, but they won't pay me. And I've already all that. So there was some emotion that's involved, and then you got to get through that. I mean, he did get paid, so you got to get through a little bit of the honeymoon period of the process. But once you got through that, he was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Now, the Orioles are going to move the left field wall into 113 feet. It's going to be just past the cutout at shortstop. So they're gonna get a special dispensation for a left fielder playing on the infield because it's not a shift because technically the outfield wall is there. It's going to go right from the shortstop to the warning track to the fence, so they can justify the signing of Alonso. He's in a lineup that strikes out a ton. That worries me a little bit as far as his ability to drive in runs, but the dude can still hit.
I'm surprised you have Naylor so low. I love his steals. Though I can't speak.
The only reason the only reason I don't have Naylor low, because frankly, to me, if I drafted Devers, Harper, Olsen, Pasquantino, Freeman, or Naylor, I would not be upset one bit with any of those guys at first base.
You got Michael
a little lower in the ADP. I don't get it because his stats are every bit as good as everybody else in that list. You had Yandy Diaz. I like Yandy Diaz. I had Michael Bush.
I have Bush ranked. Bush is one spot below Diaz.
Diaz is probably flip flop. It's probably flip flop for me as well.
Yep.
I mean, you look at where these guys are going. Right. So, I mean, once you get past Alonso, it's from 50 to 60, 68 when you include Naylor. I mean, that's 5 first basemen in 2 rounds that are going to go after that's the 3rd, 4th round for all these guys. I mean, Kurtz and Vlad in the 2nd, in a 12-team league, Alonso in the third, and then there's so many shortstops they're filling in and so many pitchers that you're going to want to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are players that make a difference in that.
I'll tell you, beginning of August, I'm not sure Matt Olson would have hit the list for me. And I love Matt Olson. He's always been one of my favorites.
Probably not.
But he got it going though. And he deserves to be where he is. I mean, he was insane.
Probably not. I mean, I don't know. So these are updated in October. So like you have to take these with a massive grain of salt. They don't have current rankings on CBS has still not done current rankings yet. So I mean, Diaz is very productive. Why they want to trade him? I guess they want Aranda to play first base full time, I guess, but he doesn't provide the power that Diaz does.
Yeah.
And Diaz was rumored to, when they traded Lyle, he was rumored to be in that deal, which would have been a coup for the Pirates if they could have got both of them. So Chris Towers did his updated rankings, and I'm only going to do catcher and first base, and he did them today.
Yeah, they came out today. I found that interesting.
Came out today, published them today, and Chris
stages.
And he's got Raleigh, William Contreras, Goodman, Langoliers, Rice, Augustin Ramirez, Perez, Smith, Diaz, Drake Baldwin, Francisco Alvarez, and Kirk. At first base, he's got Kurtz, Guerrero, Alonso, Harper, Devers, Olson, Freeman, Rice, Naylor, Pascantino, Tyler Soderstrom, who I'm surprised. I was surprised that you didn't take advantage of the fact that he will be eligible at the beginning to rank him. And Sal Perez, who's also first base eligible, that's his top 12, but no Diaz, no Bush.
Yep.
And
where's
no
Tristan Cassis? Tristan Cassis, big man, is irrelevant. Thank
you. And they told every Red Sox fan that he was when they traded for Wilson Contreras.
I didn't put Soderstrom here because he's playing outfield. I realize he has some eligibility in some leagues. He's going to lose it during the year.
Yeah, I mean it's like it was like Bellinger going into last year. Like you could rank Bellinger at first base, miss on a first baseman, have taken Bellinger, played him there until June, until whatever your league rules say. Some leagues you can play. He could have played there all year.
Yeah.
Some leagues, Soderstrom could play first base all year. So again with the corner infielder, with third base being so weak, you know, a lot of these first basemen a lot of these guys that are two position eligible are going to show up as a second first baseman. I mean, God, I just look at second base and third base. I wish I didn't. It's not going to make it easy. It's not going to make it easier for next week because, boy, second base, the first couple are pretty easy. After that, you're kind of It's kind of your flavor. It's your flavor.
Yeah, you got some guy. Well, we'll save it for next week, but second base is troubling.
And hopefully next week there'll be some more movement, and not coaches, NFL coaches, not that.
Shall we dive into the Super Bowl prognostication?
I don't know why. I mean, we're both idiots, so that goes without saying, I guess.
We got to have them on the record.
So here's this was our preseason picks. You had the Packers and the Eagles in the NFC championship game, I had the Rams and the Eagles. You had the Bills and the Ravens. I had the Chiefs and the Ravens. I really missed there. You had the Packers and the Bills in the Super Bowl with the Bills winning, and I had the Ravens and the Rams with the Ravens winning. So clearly I was eliminated from the pool when Tyler Loop decided he wanted to see how he would handle death threats.
It's funny, the Rams pick. I remember we did this, and I said if I thought Matt Stafford would get through the year healthy, I would have them in the Super Bowl. Well, guess what? He made it through the year healthy.
Yeah.
And guess what? I have him in the Super Bowl. So
yeah. So now, right. So now we go to our updates. We both have the Rams and the Seahawks. We both have the Texans. You have them against the Jaguars, and I have them against the Bills. We both have the Rams in the Super Bowl. I have the Rams winning the Super Bowl. You have the Texans winning the Super Bowl. The Texans defense is really, really good.
Yeah, I'm a big CJ Stroud fan. Willie Marks runs it enough. Nico Collins is a monster. But defense wins championships. And the reason I don't have Seattle in there, I watched them take apart San Francisco the other day on the road with everything on the line. Home field, week off. Sam Darnold leads the NFL with 20 turnovers. I trust him to get him to a point, but not to win a Super Bowl. And defense wins championships, and Houston's defense is unbelievable.
The only reason honestly, the only reason that I would pick the Rams over the Texans or the Rams over as I did over the Bills is Sean McVay.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, because I think in the Super Bowl, coaching matters.
Yeah. I don't know.
Defense has a lot to do with getting there. Coaching matters in the Super Bowl. Like who's going to take that risk? Who's going to call a better game? I trust Sean McVay to call a better game than anybody in Buffalo. And
I hope the Bills make it. I really do. I have family out there. I have a 9-year-old upstairs as a Bills fan. I don't think they play enough defense. And I'm not so sure they're going to even beat the Jaguars.
Well, they could. I was just a lot of conversation with a Bills fan today. A friend of mine that's a Bills fan today about all the coaching stuff, especially, but he is pessimistic. And I'm like, the only thing you can hang your hat on is in their losses. They only give up 3.9 yards a rush, but they played from ahead a lot, especially in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't a lot of running. When they lost, they got run on, and they got run on significantly.
I hope the Bills win this week. The game I wanted to talk to you about, Frisco looked great for 2 weeks, was dog shit last week. I don't like them whenever they come east. I think they're soft. But if this is a year that Philly's going to lose a home game, it feels like Philly's never really gotten started this year. And is this the week the dysfunction just blows up on them and they end up taking the team apart after this year?
It's possible, but San Francisco doesn't stop the run.
Yeah.
And that could be that's a pretty big problem when you're going against that offensive line and Saquon.
Yeah.
And if they get Hurts's legs involved and they just decide that, we're going to be okay throwing the ball 12 or 13 times. We're just going to run it down their throat and see if they can stop us. I mean, without Fred Warner, they're a different team. They just can't stop the run.
No, they're really banged up.
And if they get run on, but the Eagles' defense isn't great.
Yeah,
they're good enough.
What's the weather outlook for the weekend? Any idea?
It looks like it's half decent. I'm going to be in Florida where it's going to be 80, so I'm not that concerned about
Florida.
Yeah.
Where are you going in Florida?
I'm going to Ocala, of all places, for a funeral, believe it or not.
Sorry to hear that.
Great. It's going to be
sorry.
It's going to be 48 and dry. It's going to rain Friday and Saturday. So Sunday's going to be warm and dry. Fortunately, I'll be landing during the game, so I won't have to deal with the chaos of being down there. But no, the weather won't be bad, and it won't be, and that's not going to affect San Francisco. The weather won't affect them at all.
Yeah.
I think the thing that the Eagles should be most concerned about is that Jake Elliott blows.
Yeah. And by the way, the disrespect for the Pats is intentional and it's warranted. That 391 strength of schedule this year, no.
I could sum that whole sentence up. I'm gonna sum up what Sean just said in 3 words. Fuck the Pats.
I knew those were going to be your 3 words. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
You have no idea how pissed off I am that Drake May's as good as I thought he was going to be, and that he's on that team. You have no idea how angry it makes me that he is that good, and he is that good. And I thought he was going to be that good. I think he was going to be this good, but I thought he was going to be good.
What's amazing is I watched him play once this year, and he was so bad against the Raiders in opening day. Looked like they were afraid to let him throw the football.
Yeah, I was Vrabel playing. Vrabel's playing chess. Like,
unbelievable.
Let's go stink it up and then run roughshod over the league the rest of the year. Let's let everybody think that they made a mistake in hiring me, and then we'll just we'll just go 14-2 the rest of the way, or whatever the hell they ended up. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, they're back. Blah 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 blah. They're back until this week. I mean, the only game that I think the only game that I think is the easiest game to bet, but they already beat them, is the Rams in Carolina. But Carolina beat the Rams.
Yeah.
And they're pesky, man.
They suck.
They do suck, but they suck, but they don't. And that's that's how you end up 8-9, is that you win these crazy games late, and they won most of their games in the fourth quarter. Green Bay, Chicago's intriguing, very intriguing. I feel like Green Bay is going to win that game.
Yeah,
the line tells you that you don't know. I don't think the Chargers can't run the ball.
The best meme of the week last week, it was a picture of Justin Herbert, and it says the Chargers are going to sit him this week to prepare for their first round playoff exit, because that's what they do. That's the Chargers. I was going to pick against the Patriots if they were playing Buffalo or almost anybody, but not the Chargers. You can't. They're soft. They're soft, and they don't show up in big games.
Well, there's only 60 years of evidence to support that.
Yeah. And, the good news is there's 7 fans. There's only 7 people on the planet. They're going to be disappointed when they lose. So it's small collateral damage.
There's very few fans when one woman became like their super fan, because she was the only one at a home Chargers game that was actually a Chargers fan. I don't remember who they were. I don't remember the game and who they were playing.
Social media.
They kept showing her because everybody else was a visiting fan in that stadium. a total takeover. I mean, the NFL got exactly what they wanted. They got exactly what they wanted. It's embarrassing that an 8-9 team makes the playoffs. That's what they want. That's what they want. The intriguing one of all the intrigue is Houston at Pittsburgh, and Tomlin's never lost on Monday Night Football. Now, I think he's gonna this week. They're gonna blitz Rodgers to oblivion.
Yeah,
but he's 23-0 on Monday night in his career.
That's pretty good.
That's not awful.
No, it's not awful.
It's not terrible.
No, I like Houston.
The Jets are 1-70 on Monday Night Football.
I'm going through my graphs, and I'm like, am I really going to pick Houston and Jacksonville in the AFC title game? I'm like, why not? It's a blessing. You get the year off from the Chiefs. The year off. I hate the Ravens. I'm glad they're out too. I'll ignore Denver. The Chargers are going to be one and done. I'm going to enjoy this playoff.
I got invited into a playoff pool. You pick the game with the spread, and then you got to pick the over under. And in round one, it's 1 point for each of those. So it'll be 6 games, a possibility of 12 points, but then you have a best bet game. And your best bet game in that bet in your best bet over under and in your best bet spread, you get an extra point. And then it resets for round 2, and then those are 2 points. Apparently last year there were 185 people in this pool.
Wow.
It was $100. I'm like, I'll do it. I mean, I don't know. I clearly don't know anything. The fact that I'm still a Jets fan after 60 years just proves I don't know anything about football.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's
tough. I hear it.
Maybe we should go to Pittsburgh for the draft. I think I'm going. April 26th. I think I'm going. I was thinking about just going out for Thursday and Friday. The Pirates aren't home. I was hoping I was hoping the Pirates were going to be home, but then I had to apply a little bit of logic into my hopefulness and like, why would they put the Pirates at home during the draft? Because that whole area is going to be a complete massive chaos.
Just curious how Mrs. Pugsley would feel about that possibility.
I mean, I'd like to go for round one, especially when my team has 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And 2 in round 2. I don't want to hang around there all day on Saturday and watch the other, the other 8 picks.
Yeah.
But like go for Thursday, go for Friday, and then get out of town on Saturday morning. I'm sure the hotel rooms are interestingly priced right now.
Sure, I'm sure they are. All right.
You got to stay in the Berg because Uber in Pittsburgh not so good. It's not great.
No.
And there probably will be adult beverages involved in the process. And trying to get out of the city to go anywhere to stay in a hotel is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit of a challenge. Especially since it's very easy to get lost driving around there. And that's me being there a lot.
Is that hibachi place we went to in Pittsburgh still there? Do you know?
I don't know if it is.
That was top level.
I don't know if it is or not. Downtown's got some unbelievable new restaurants. Really, really good restaurants. Really good. They still haven't done a good job. I still don't feel like they've taken advantage of the opportunity to add more food and entertainment around the 2 stadiums on Triangle Point. I mean, they built space for it, but it really never took off. I think people there's no place to really stay over there, so that's part of the problem. There's really one hotel on that side of the river that's close, like where you could walk.
Yep.
But there's a half a dozen hotels where you can walk across the Clementi Bridge and be there, and it's not. There's been more restaurants that have popped up on that part of Pittsburgh than on the other side, and it's a shame because it'd be a great place to have it, but not so much.
I have to get myself a Fernando Mendoza jersey.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
You do that.
I haven't rooted for the New York Giants in Super Bowl 21, but there I was on Sunday cheering home Jackson Dart. It would have been the ultimate Raider thing to be that they needed to lose to secure that pick if the Giants had lost to Dallas and Daniel Carlson bangs that 60-yard field goal to win the game. That would have been the ultimate Raider thing of all time.
Yeah. And that's Pete Carroll in his exit interview going, I can't believe you're firing me. We just won.
Yeah, we just won. Yeah, big man. Josh McDaniels lover.
Yeah, that's your next coach.
No.
Cliff
No, Big
Kingsbury
Man
as head
started in
coach.
on that bullshit yesterday as I was going to the doctor to get my blood pressure checked, and I can't believe it was 130/80 after that conversation.
Matt Patricia is your defensive coordinator, plucking him out of Ohio State. Josh McDaniels as the OC and Cliff Kingsbury as the head coach.
Nope.
That would be the Mark Davis move of Mark Davis moves.
Kurt Signetti is going to come with Fernando.
And speaking of Mark Davis,
He's
back to baseball for just a minute. Jim Bowden, get a fucking haircut. Please. Like, why anybody would look in the mirror and say, I look like a young Mo Howard. I like this look. I don't like, and also Jim, stop talking, because now you're just throwing crap out there so people pay attention to you. And you used to be very insightful in what was going on, and now you're like a clickbait guy. So just
no, he's terrible. He's
get a
terrible.
haircut and stop talking. And
I've been out on him for years, and then in the NFL, McShay with that stupid jet take he made.
See, we both got haircuts. We just didn't stop talking.
Yes. All right. On that note,
Robert.
Bob is in the house.
Bob, you missed catcher and first base. We didn't talk about a Met, neither one of them, because you know why? There isn't anybody to talk about.
All right. Next week.
Sad to say. Next week, second base and shortstop, which will be, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm not looking so forward to second base. That's going to be a slop house.
All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing how after who I believe are both our consensus number one shortstop's going to be, how it ranks after.
We'll see. Next week, 10 plan Wednesday, depending on my sports reporting schedule. I will be at a hockey rink tomorrow, which is why we're here tonight.
Yeah. Will they be here Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Monday? We'll be here some
flexibility. Tuesday or Wednesday
next week.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Follow us at Fantasy Base B now on Twitter, and you'll get an update as to when we're actually going to run this back.
Absolutely. All right.
Smash your like button.
Subscribe. All that stuff. Out.